Hey guys, my name is CJ. The king of key holders is basically perfect now. This is the Orbit Key Pro. Let's take a look. Now, I'm unashamedly an Orbit Key fan. I've been a supporter since day zero with their initial key holder that first launched on Kickstarter many years ago. It was a novel idea in a sea of clinging keychains and keyrings. I mean, who knew that you could organize keys like a Swiss Army knife and look good at it? Over the years, there's been competition that mimics the overall concept that Orbit Key pioneered. Items like from Jibbin or Exter, both of which I've done videos on previously. Check them out here or in the description. But these products iterated on Orbit Key's design to address various pitfalls it came with. For things like being too short to accommodate longer keys, or having a cumbersome locking mechanism that required a coin to open it without damaging the surface, and there were a few things that just stopped it from being an absolute perfect product. Now though, the Orbit Key Pro is the latest version and hopes to address all of these issues, and boy did they nail it. So the first thing is, you'll notice that it retains its classic design. It's still basically just a strap held together by a locking mechanism that houses the bar that holds on to all the keys. This time, however, it's a little bit longer, 3mm longer actually, which doesn't sound like much, but it does go a long way to accommodate more keys. And as you can see here, the older model struggled to contain my longest keys and just made it more prone to stretching, bending, molding, and ultimately damaging the Orbit Key itself. But with the Pro this year, it accommodates even the longest of keys very comfortably. It also comfortably fits more keys out of the box as well. The last model maxed out at 7 standard size keys, whereas the Pro maxes out at 9. And if you're someone that has to open many locked doors, you can expand it all the way up to 13 keys with that extension post, which is a lot of keys. But if there's one specific key that you use more than others, it also comes with a new quick flip tool that make it easy for you to flip up your most used key. And here I used it for the key that opens up my workplace, as that's the one that I use the most. But for most people, it'll probably be the key to their house. It seems really simple, but it works really well by isolating that to one side and then stacking the rest of the keys behind it. Then of course, you've got what is probably my favorite improvement, and that's the new toolless spring-loaded tension mechanism that holds everything in place. Now it seems a bit silly, but the older model was pretty limited and had very limited customizability. It used a locking washer and required a coin to tighten or loosen the mechanism, and it was also a bit limited in how precise those adjustments were. It would tighten with every 180-degree turn, so honestly it didn't leave a lot of nuance. But this time, the mechanism is toolless and you can make micro adjustments to tension every 30 degrees of rotation. And it's a super satisfying tactile experience spinning the mechanism around. It kind of feels like you're winding up an old pocket watch or something like that. But on the whole, it simply means you can really customize how tight the keys are held in place. And it just makes it for a much more elegant solution, rather than having to fumble around to find a coin and then possibly scuffing the metal on top. So I've basically put a combination of keys and useful tools like a SIM ejector tool and a bottle opener in with the Orbit Key Pro, and I just think it's a really nice package. Now I've been using the evergreen colorway, and again I think it looks really nice. You've got that forest green color that contrasts really well with that matte black, and I think those metal accents look really elegant and feels really premium too. But what do you think? Then finally, you've got that D-ring which is now fixed in place with a little loop. Now admittedly, the little material holding the D-ring in place is a bit thin, so it'll be interesting to see if it actually lasts long term, but it definitely makes it easier to manage, especially if you connect other external items like another key ring, car keys, or a garage fob. But overall, the Orbit Key Pro is a relatively simple evolution to an already very good product. But now, there's no real major flaws. And to me, it's as close to being perfect as I can see. All there is now to do is to release it in more colorways and more materials, and that'll round things out. Now, it'll start at $65 US, which is definitely more expensive than the first version, but with all the quality of life improvements the Pro has, I think it makes it worth it. It's got ultimate customizability in a design that is a bit more accommodating and more fit for purpose for more people. But what do you guys think? Is this going to be good enough for you to upgrade? And if it is, I'll leave a link in the description for you below if you want to check it out. Now, if you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe for more, and ding the bell icon so you don't miss out. Thanks again for watching the video. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.